Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down a really simple card game that has a surprisingly big impact on number sense. It's called Place the Value, and trust me, it's designed to get your students talking, thinking, and really understanding numbers.
As teachers, we're always looking for activities that are more than just busy work, right? We want something that's fun, yeah, but also has some real meat to it. Something that really gets students talking to each other about math, explaining their thinking. That's the sweet spot, isn't it? And this little game, well, it really helps get us there.
So let's dive into this place value challenge. It's a fantastic way to take a regular old deck of cards and turn it into a powerhouse lesson on mathematical reasoning.
And this quote just nails it. The whole point of the game is to spark those moments where students are actually explaining their strategies, questioning each other, and building understanding together. It's the kind of learning you just can't get from a worksheet. So here's the game in a nutshell. Students draw cards, they build these big numbers. But, and here's the twist that makes it so smart, they only get points if they can correctly explain the value of certain digits. It's not just about what the digit is, but why it's worth what it is.
All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts of how to play. And I promise the setup is so simple you could literally start this in your classroom tomorrow.
All you need is a deck of cards, a worksheet for each kid to keep track of their score, and a small group of 2 to 4 players. That's it. Seriously low prep, which, we all love.
Okay, now this is a really important rule to remember. The ace counts as a 1. That's easy enough. But the 10 and all the face cards, so your jack, queen, and king, they all become zeros. This one little rule adds such a fun layer of strategy and chance to the game.
So here's how a turn works. A player draws 6 cards. They get to arrange them to make the biggest or best 6-digit number they can. They write it down, and then they have to read it out loud, which is great practice right there. But the scoring, this is the key. It only comes from explaining the value of the red cards they drew. For every correct explanation, they get 2 points. Okay, this is where the magic really happens. Let's walk through a quick sample round so you can see what this actually looks and sounds like in the classroom and how it brings that math talk to life.
So, imagine student A draws these 6 cards. We've got a red 7, a black 6, black 4, red 3, black 9, and a king. And remember what that king is? Yep, a 0. Student A thinks for a second and strategically arranges the cards to make the number 764,390. You see that? They put the highest digit, the 7, in the hundred thousands place and use that king as a 0 at the end. Really smart move. Now it's time to score. Student A has to explain the value of their red cards. They start off strong, maybe using a sentence starter you've provided. My number is 764,390. The red 7 is worth 700,000 because it's in the hundred thousands place.
And they continue with their second red card. And the red 3 is worth 300 because it's in the hundreds place. Perfect, clear, precise, and correct.
Okay, and here's the best part. The other students have to verify the answer. So student B chimes in, I agree with the 300, and I agree the 7 is worth 700,000. I can add that the hundred thousands place is 10 times larger than the 10,000s. Whoa, did you hear that? Student B isn't just saying, yup, they're adding on, reinforcing the concept. That is the exact kind of rich math talk we are aiming for.
So student A nails it. Both of their explanations for the red cards were spot on, so they earned 4 points for the round. 2 for the 7, 2 for the 3. But honestly, the real win here is that discussion. That's what solidifies the learning for everybody at the table.
All right, so you're probably thinking, this looks cool, but how can I actually fit it into my day? Well, the beauty of this game is just how flexible it is. It is definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing.
You can use this in so many different ways. It's perfect for your math centers. It's a fantastic 5-minute warm-up just to get everyone's brain going. It works great for partner work. You could even have students play in cooperative pairs where they have to agree on the number and the explanation before they share it. And what's so great is how incredibly easy it is to differentiate. For your students who need a little more support, just simplify it. Have them draw only 4 cards to work with smaller numbers. For those who need a challenge, extend it. Ask them to write their number in expanded form, or have them compare their number with a partner's and explain why one is greater than the other.
So, let's kind of bring this all home. What's the ultimate goal here? It's really all about using the power of play to build that deep, flexible number sense that we want all our students to have.
This is the big idea, you guys. The game moves students from just passively, identifying a digit in the tens place to the much more active and cognitive work of explaining why that digit is worth what it is. And that is a massive leap in their understanding.
This game is basically a living, breathing model of that core concept we're all trying to teach, that a digit in one place represents 10 times as much as it represents in the place to its right. They don't just memorize the rule, they experience it with every single hand they play.
And that's really the takeaway here. It's a small game, simple materials, but it delivers these huge aha moments. It brings joy, it brings connection, and it brings deep mathematical thinking back into the classroom. So I'll leave you with this question. A question this game helps every single one of your students answer with total confidence. Why is the 3 in 340 different from the 3 in 3040? After playing this game, they won't just know the answer, they'll be able to explain it. And that, right there, is some powerful learning.